All right, let's see if I remember how to do this. I think it's this. Salutations, kindred spirits. Greetings. Welcome back to the Magic Cave. Hey, hey, audio check, camera check. Oh, we don't use that anymore. We don't use this anymore. Sorry about that. The button's still there. I'm back. I am back from the State Fair of Louisiana. I went to work. Boy, did I go to work. So much so that today I said, rather than dwell on the fair, we'll talk about the fair, maybe more so in detail later. Today we're going to just do things I love because I need some me time. So today we're just going to talk about pasteboards, card tricks, friends. Let me say hi to friends. First of all, everyone in the chat, pre-stream. Always nice to see you guys hanging out. Hey, John, Phoenix. I know Matthew Mosley's in the house. Ira, Gary with the jokes. Kyle, like the Carney Life shirt. We're representing this brand here. Woohoo! And look, new members popping up. What's happening? Hey, anyone that saw me at the fair and is seeing me for the first time, welcome to my magic party. This is what we do. I'm just going to go with Wednesdays at 4 o'clock. I do magic tricks and chit chat. And today we're going to chit chat about the fair briefly. And we're going to unbox decks. This is not an official unboxing. This is a deck that I have had in play for about a week now. This is Murphy's Crazy. I don't even know what they call these. I'm the worst deck reviewer in the world. Here, I'll put this here. You can see if you want to snap a thing. Whatever that is. It's a holographic double stamped deck. So it's double foil, I think is what they call it. And it's kind of in an embossed situation where these cherries pop off this holographic design. You could also pretend to make the cards vanish. I guess we could do a magic trick along the way. Look, hocus pocus, the cards have disappeared. Or maybe it's just one of those tricky they're coming back. It's the humidity that makes it work. And boy, we got a lot of that here today. There's a symbolic of the likes you'll give this stream, no doubt, as the cards appear into view. This is unboxing number 1. Figure we could segue and do some magical things before we start talking about the fair. When we unbox these decks, people always want to know what the jokers look like. So that's what the jokers look like. I'm thinking about what to do for revelation number 2. What else do you want to know? The Ace of Spades. That's always what does the Ace of Spades look like? Let me get the jokers in play here. One card in between this is what the Ace of Spades looks like on the Cherry Casinos. Today, I have a loose theme going. I thought we'd focus on the ladies today. So as we segue through some of these unboxings, we're going to look at the ladies, maybe do some magic with them. It's the Queen of Spades. Let me see. 13 plus 9, that's 24. Oh, we already did that revelation. Let's do this. Did I do this one too? No, I don't think we did. And that should set us up for the hot shot cut for the last one. And that's what the ladies look like. This will be our loose theme today, unboxing card tricks, and we'll kind of tie it up with the ladies in play. There's your opening number with the Cherry Casino super flashy double. Let's give a mini review on these. These are kind of thick. This camera never wants to focus. That's why I go here. These are kind of thick, right? They're like thicker than my average bicycle deck that I know and love. Noah wants to know about the giveaway. That's right. We're giving away things. When's the giveaway? Patience, young man, patience. I'm an old guy. I take my time. The double embossing, you can actually feel the raised situation where the cherry is. So this is a unique feel for me where I'm used to the card being totally smooth. There is a little bumpy bump here. Could probably be used for surreptitious purposes. I don't know. Anyway, there. Voila. Cherry fancy decks. Any questions on those? Any questions? Look at these decks. I'll field questions as I introduce these decks. Look at this one. What? I thought before I talk about these decks, I'd look them up online. I looked this one up. This is a $75 deck it retails for on eBay. I don't know much about card collecting or if that's even true, but I saw this deck priced at like $90, at $60. These I think retail for about 30 bucks. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the best reviewer. I got some Alex Pandrea decks here from the House of Playing Cards or the Knock decks. I'm super curious about these. I guess this is black and white. We'll pop these open to a card trick with them. Are they? Yeah, I guess they are. I don't know. I'm going to give them away. I'm going to give those away. That's what we're going to give these away, which I hope Claude's okay with. We're going to talk about Claude. We're going to talk about the fair. I don't know if they're marked. These probably are. This is the mechanic deck. These apparently have an animated feature built into them. These will reside with me, but we're going to open up these as we do some card magic. Hey, let's talk briefly about the reason we can give these decks away. As I mentioned, some of the other kindred spirits as well that I ran into. Let's go through a few. Daniel Garner, if you're out there, hey, good to see you. And it was great to see you at the fair. We never did get to capture that story about Shreveport being founded by grifters. That's the rumor. This place I was in for 3 weeks, founded by thimble riggers, 3 shell Monty. And boy, that would seem about right for Shreveport. So, Daniel, good to see you. Aaron Boca, your last name confounds me. Good to see you and your beautiful family. Thanks for coming out. Claude Wyatt. We'll get to Claude in a minute. Also, Eric Johnson. What a pleasure to finally put a friendly face to face and a handshake and a man hug to Eric and his lovely wife and anyone who I'm forgetting and everyone who I was with, Dallas, Sape, and his wonderful sons, Nick and Carter, Arson, the great break dancer, all the other great variety talent on the Midway. We rocked it when it was good. When it wasn't good, we did our best, so, which was more often than not the case for me. I'm just saying how it is. Let me introduce you to Claude's family. Claude, I got a picture. I'm assuming you're going to see this. This is one of my favorite moments from the fair as I'm entertaining the boys in blue. That's Claude and Amber and their son Sawyer. I think I'm doing the invisible deck there. It looks like we're having fun. I always want to keep the police happy. So there it is, a nice, beautiful day on the fair. Unfortunately, like most days on the fair, it was like this. If we pan out and you can see that the fairgrounds for most weekdays, for sure, were thin pickings, as we say in the biz. So I hope to be in an environment where things were hustle and bustle. More often than not, I was fighting for attention, and there was a lot of things fighting for attention out there. But that said, we did have fun. There were times where we had crowds and the weather was friendly and we made smiles. We made a lot of smiles on this trip, in fact, and I'm super glad to have done that. But hey, let's get back to Claude, who brought me these decks. Claude shows up. He goes, "Hey, Doug, these are for you." And I'm just going to unbox them and do some magic with them. So Matthew wants to know, you always ask for forgiveness as a street performer. But I try to make friends ahead of the game, right? Ahead of the game. So Claude, I hope you'll forgive me for giving these away. I think I'm going to do it live on this stream. Normally I would say, leave a comment on the video, yada, yada. I need to find out who needs these though. Let's talk about this in a little bit. And if you are a cardistry person or if you collect cards, I would like these to go to you. If you're not that person, maybe let someone else get this deck. And I just think it needs a better home than my hands, as I am very much not the collector, and I'll just open these up and get them dirty, and they'll never really be loved like they should be. But we'll give away these Virts, these beautiful, there's the spring summer 2015 edition or 2016 edition. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Okay. let's go and open one of these while we're doing anybody have questions about the fair? While I'm opening decks, I'd be happy to answer. And although I'd rather talk about other things. Gary's got over 300 decks. Is that what you have? Do you have the Virts? Do you have these Virt cards, brother? Phoenix wants them. Oh, no. Dude, you're in the running. Gary Henderson is in the running. This is a man who's been generous before to our members. Gary has given us decks to give away on the stream before. It makes total sense that if he has 300 decks and we have one that he doesn't have, maybe Gary is going to be in the lead for this. Maybe I'll get to see me cut myself live on the internet. Look at this. This is not the best deck opening. Did I mention I'm not the best deck reviewer? Yes. So it was Aaron with me. Here's the deal. Dealio yo. Hey, Taylor, welcome to the membership. By the way, members, we're going to be combining this live stream with the teach-in session, which I'll be happy to deliver at the end of this stream. I'm going to do a little teacher trick at the end of this. I was going to do a member-only teach-in, but I figure we'll share the love here and do this for everybody live on the internet. If you want to learn something, you have a chance to do that today. Yeah, Aaron drove me up there, spent a weekend, drove home, came back and picked me up a few weeks later. That's what happened there. So these have some kind of wheelie deal design on them, and apparently they create the illusion of animation. And they do. This is the Mechanics deck. Mechanic deck. So, uno más. You riffle through the deck. It looks like gears are turning on the wheel. Was that a double backer? What was that? Let's do that again. All right, let's see what's in this deck. Looks kind of weird here. Got a blank card. That's how you make blank decks. These are what the jokers look like. Cool. I dig it. Poker chips. I like it. Mechanic. Poker chips. Makes sense. This is what the Ace of Spades looks like, just so you know. Xavier wants to talk about cups and balls on the card-centric stream. So what do I look for in a final load for cups and balls? Let me put this question up as I try to complete a single Pharaoh shuffle. Thank you. You look for the cup to be full. That's it. Try and fill up the cup. Fill it up. The new deck that has, so Noah's asking questions I don't know, and I'm just giving this deck one more Pharaoh shuffle, creating the illusion that I mixed the deck. That's a pretty good illusion. I'll give it a couple more cuts and maybe one more shuffle. We'll give it one of these tabled varieties, something you might be happy to see in a casino before we endeavor to bring the ladies up. Yep, the ladies. This is what we're working with today. If you remember our theme, we'll be bringing the gals into play throughout the evening. Those are the four ladies from the Mechanics deck. This has been your unboxing for the Mechanics deck. Mechanics do things shady, like if they wanted to control the ladies, this is probably the way, if I wanted to control them, I would opt for this move. I know it's not Neil Elias's move, but I want to call it that. It looks like the fork. That's the worst crediting too. Looks like the queens go in. But again, the theme of the day is that they rise. Like all women should, right? They're the ones with the real power, rising to the top. Man, I bet there's a universe where this deck makes an interesting short video. Claude, thank you for these cards. Navo, you ask a question about the Mario Lopez cigarette trick. You know, that trick's not even the Mario Lopez trick. It's actually Ron Jackson's effect, if I'm not mistaken. And I used to feature cigarette magic. I quit smoking and no longer do it. And no, I haven't seen the new Shin Lim deck. Someone will have to send me one of those for free for me to see it. Enough said. The animation when they're shuffled? Probably the best way to see that would be just to see it. Probably unnoticeable. On the table, I don't think you'd notice it at all. Whoops, that was horrible. Brand new cards, good times. Make your own judgments. Burning cold cut. I'm drawing a blank. That would be a no. Thank you. One of the best choices of my life, quitting smoking. When you go to the doctor every time, and the first question they ask you at the doctor is, do you smoke? And after you hear that, and you hear it more and more as you get older, either wise up or you don't. And if you don't, maybe you don't live as long. So I decided to stop smoking. Oh, look at Mr. Champlin coming in. Card reviews by Jesse says that Shim Lim deck is a winner, but he's not getting my money. I mean, it's not personal. Just not giving him my money. It might be 1% personal. I'm avoiding the tabs, man. It's always the damn tabs. Henry Ross wants to know what to do with the Mark deck. For me, literally, Henry, the only use that I really have for it is as a place to check my positioning when dealing with a memorized deck. The other real winner is this with a marked deck. I think these are marked. I love these alternative tuck cases. Oh, these are not what I expected. I expected black cards. One of the great things you can do with a marked deck is ask your spectator to find your card. So you propose to pick a card. Ooh, these really feel nice. Oh, these really feel nice, actually. So say these are marked. You say, hey, spectator, let me pick a card. And you pretend to look at one. You don't even look at it. You don't remember anything. You shuffle up the deck and you say, now see if you can find my card. Push out any card. And whatever card they push out, you look at the mark and you say, okay, I picked the 4 clubs or whatever it is. That'd have been cool if it was a 4 club. I picked the 5 of diamonds. And then it looks like they found your card, but you just read the markings. So that's a winner. There's one for you. But generally it's for the memorized deck. So these are produced by the Expert Playing Card Company in Taipei, as opposed to mini decks produced in the United States Playing Card Company. Expert Playing Card Company in Taipei. Get back to me on that. I just sent that book to Phoenix. Look at that, Phoenix, with the follow-up questions. You're quite welcome, young man. And this was the book I sent you, Expert Card Technique. Hey, Phoenix, can you answer that question? Have you read that anything in that book yet that would have popped out to your brain? That would be cool. Yeah, go for it, Henry. The thing is this, you're empowering your spectator to do magic. What a wonderful thing. So apparently these are marked, I've heard the rumors, by suit, or at least by color. I love this minimalism. And these cards, unique, sturdy, they feel wonderful. To the best of my knowledge, this is the first time that I've held a deck from this place. Now, I hope you can appreciate my genuine excitement here. And I'm now struggling to think of something to do with the queens. Let me just shuffle these around a little bit. I've been using this joke again. I have to say shuffle because I can't say shuffle. That's right. I'm bringing that one back. Let me go through the basics here. Wow, I really like the way these cards feel. They're not, I mean, they feel kind of plastic, but man, I feel like these cards would last. There's your jokers. Let me get the ladies in order here. And there's your ace of spades. Super minimal, but I dig it. Like, you know what I don't dig? Is cards that are over embellished, that are too weird. Ron, I am in the Big Easy, Nolens, Louisiana. I hail from the Great White North, but not Canada. Cincinnati, Ohio is my birthplace and home. It's where I became a good magician. And then I traveled to New Orleans to become a street performer. Came here for the winter and then never left. I don't know why I just did that. Here, let me be fair about this. I just put the queens on the top of the deck. That wasn't even fair. This trick is best done if they're random in the middle. Look at this beauty. Here is a thing of beauty for your eye holes. David, you're as old as I am almost anyway, and your opinion is irrelevant on dad jokes. I'm sorry, young man, but you don't qualify to have this opinion. Here's one from Card Fixes, Mr. Miller. You'll appreciate that. It's also a Daryl Martinez. Where are the ladies? Oh, there's one. We're going to use the ladies because that's what we're doing today. And this is, I think Daryl called it Rising Crime originally. This handling, in my opinion, is immaculate. So there's the four ladies. Maybe not perfect there. It's interesting. But I'm dusting it off for you guys today. I'm dusting it off. I think the traditional way to do this is proclaim these as like jewel thieves. And I guess this could be like an Ocean's 14 situation where the queens go to rob. Let's say the first one goes to get the diamonds on the bottom floor. The second queen goes to get the cash in the safe on the next floor. And the third and the fourth queen, let's see, we'll put this one, they go where the baseball cards are. That's where the real money is. The last one stays on the top of the deck, and that's just to watch guard in case the police go by. They can blow the whistle, and if the police show up, call the other ladies right to the top of the deck. Yep, there they are. All four ladies right to the top of the deck. That is, what did Rocker Bomber call that? Bonus points if you can tell me what John Rocker Bomber called that. Did he call it Rising Crime in Card Fixes? Who wants to Google this while I'm evaluating this beautiful knock deck and doing card magic from the 90s? If you haven't read Card Fixes by John Rocker Bomber, it's one of his better books, in my opinion. It's a wonderful compilation that contains a lot of material by different magicians. And wow, this is a nice deck. I like it. We give that deck a thumbs up. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. I actually... here, while they're there, let's do Triumph with the Queens. Sure. Yeah, we can do that. Sure. While the ladies rest the top of the deck. So what I'm going to do here is make it look like I shuffle. Make sure where they are where I think they are. Okay. This is the way they do it in the casino to make sure you're not cheating. Like that's going to do anything. So we're going to mix them face up and face down, and this will allow me to look for the queens as they're shuffling by, right? I could just look for them while I'm shuffling them around. If I don't see any of the queens like face up too much, this is going to mean there's some of the face down cards, right? If you don't see them face up. So if there's some of the face down cards, that's going to narrow it down considerably. Oh yeah, look, it's simple mathematics. As there are just 1, 2, 3, 4 queens. Are they? Are they? Did we get them? Voila! And that's what triumph looks like with I love that Matthew Mosley. Rising robbers. Daryl is rising crime, rising robbers. Matthew Mosley, you get brownie points. MJ4, there's your shout out. Go get him, bro. Live your best life. What, this thing? Why, yeah. I think I learned that from Daryl. Are we having fun now? All right, one more deck, and then it was not the Grand Hotel. That is not correct. France. Bonjour. Oh, bonsoir. It's probably evening in France right now. You know, I lived in Clermont-Ferrand, southern France, for a year when I was a young man. Oh, Eric, brother, it was so good to see you, man. You got the best vibes, dude. Oh, the multiple cuts. So Xavier, I've done a tutorial on my Triumph handling, and it is a variant of Daryl's display. And the variant is created to create the more chaos as opposed to displaying a mixed condition. So in my mind, I'm continuing the mix as opposed to carefully displaying the mix. And if you YouTube Triumph Shuffle Doug Kahn, you'll find it. You'll find that whole tutorial. It's free. It's on the YouTubes. Oh, good. Yay. I was hoping the other deck would be black because it's in the black box. And these would be white because they're in the white box. But of course it's not. It's the reversal. All right, Noah. Hey, man. School's important. Go do that. Thanks for hanging out a bit. We appreciate it. So look, super simple. I'm guessing we're getting a repeat here. What's going on there? Okay, same thing. And let's see if these feel the same. They're the same. They're the same. All right, let's make sure there's only 4 queens here. We're going to do one last trick with the queens. And then I'm going to teach this one, but quickly. And if it seems like it's unclear, I will shoot a tutorial for this. It'll be a members only tutorial, but I think we could, oh, wait a minute. These were not like, they did not bang out the Pharaoh. Like, okay, no, that's fine. They're good. A little not Pharaoh-y, but that could be me. All right, this one I'm happy to reintroduce to my repertoire. We'll talk more about it in a moment. I think it's best done probably following one of the other revelations where the queens have risen to the top. And what I'm working towards here is kind of an ambitious queens routine where the queens rise to the top. And maybe this routine is the one that finishes the sequence. As you draw your attention to the deck and make sure there are no extra queens, just the 4. And to make it super simple, I will endeavor to do it one at a time and in slow motion. So here's the first one. Speaking of Daryl, check out this finesse. As this queen apparently goes into the deck. No breaks. Looks like it really went in there, right? And normally I have a button. I pretend to push the button, but there's nothing to push on this card as it rises right to the top of the deck. I said we're going to do it again four times, and we'll try to make each one a little more clear. As you can see, it go directly into the center of the deck and then directly right to the top of the pack. That's queen number 2. Oh, now he's good. 2 down, 2 to go. There's the third one. Bruce Cervon didn't do this, but I just did. I think it's a nice addition to the plot to show it before it jumps back to the top. And you can even do this hands off. Like you could bury that queen on the table and make it, there's no button. I'm just pretending. Your spectator could turn it over. And as if that's not enough, and it's not, because this routine has one more phase, all 4 en masse at once. And here, let's do that Daryl finesse again as we pretend to bury them into the deck. But still, that's all right off the top. 1, 2, 3, 4 ladies, 4 single cards. And that is the floating, technically called the floating aces. And Xavier's commenting, there's a big black button on the back of those cards. And yes, there is. So, a simple, elegant plot that is attainable by anyone that has the ability to hold a break. And I guess there is a triple lift in this routine versus a double lift. But if you can do a multiple lift and you can do the tilt illusion, which is just holding a break, you can do this wonderful floating aces sequence. Kudos to Bruce Cervon, and there's a lot of routines of this nature. I guess the elevator aces, Ed Marlowe probably gets the nod for the forefather, the grandfather. Who knows? Who knows? Probably 1,000 years old. Cards rising to the top. But I'll walk through the Bruce Cervon structure and look at the elegance here. Put on your learning caps. I'm just going to plow right through this. In 5 minutes or less, Matthew says, can I learn this in 5 minutes or less? I'm going to take about 3 minutes here. Let's see. 4:34. Let's see how long it takes me. Step 1, I got to switch out one of these queens for a card and displace one. So here's the Bruce Cervon elegance. While you're showing there's no extra queens, but the queen's at the rear of the deck, so they're at the rear here. You say, look, there's no extra queens. You pull 1, you pull 2, and these 2 cards will ride beneath the spread as you continue to show no other queens. So you say there's 1. You say, look, there's no extra queens. And as I show the deck in this fashion, those 2 cards are just cruising underneath. When I get to the queens, I break at the first one, and I'm going to feed those 2 cards below it and above the third one, right? So if I squared up at this point, it'd be queen, 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 card, card, queen. I hope that makes sense. And again, it's just under the notion of, look, no extra queens. Spread the top 4 cards off and place them to the table. And as you square the deck, you get the top 2 cards in tilt break. Now, you all know I like the pinky count, so I pinky count 2 to hold my little break here, right? I'm holding a break at the back of the deck. It's about 1/4 of an inch. It's going to make a depth illusion so that when I apparently place this card into the middle, looks like it's going in there. It's just going under the top card there. It's the Vernon depth illusion. Ed Marlowe popularized this as tilt. So this card looks like it's going into the middle. It's going under the top 2. I use this Daryl subtlety, which I'm not going to go into detail with, but that's a Daryl subtlety. So now when we square up, we can do a triple lift to show the first queen has risen to the top. That's turning 3 cards over secretly as 1. Turn that triple down and deal it to the table. Continue by picking up this card, and as you insert it into the deck, you're going to get a break above it. I do that by applying pressure at the outer corner with my forefinger. And as it goes flush, that inner corner will poke out to the bottom right. This is just, it just works. See how it poked out there? Poked out a little bit. Then I pull down on that corner to establish a break above that queen. That's as I push it in. I'm already ready to show one on top because we're there. That's what's happening with this trick. You're one ahead of the audience at all time. Drop this card to the table. And I still have my break there from when I pushed in the queen. I'm going to put this card, which is a queen, on top of the deck, holding the break, and then cut the deck at that break, bringing this queen to the top of the deck. I added the Jennings visitor display here by covering the end dice of the queen to show this one, not exposing the pip here, covering it with my fingers, right? This allows me to say, watch this queen go in. I push it in. I get that break again, just pulling down over it, and then show this one's on top. Lastly, it's hands off. I've still got that break I just established. Cut at that point to the table. This is an indifferent card. Don't show it. Don't show it. Just put it in this position and say, watch the last one rise, hands off. Maybe have your spectator turn over that one. And then wrap up this whole shindig by, again, establishing a tilt break here because you're still one ahead with one queen on top. And this allows you to bring the routine to its conclusion by turning this queen face down because the lowermost card is an indifferent card, right? It's secretly indifferent. Allowing us to do the tilt again, apparently inserting the cards. If you don't have this Daryl finesse, you can just push some out of the middle. Like what I'm doing here is hitting the middle part of the deck as a convincer, jamming some cards out. This is I think a Howie Schwartzman convincer. There's a whole book on this. Ed Marlowe, John Rockerbaumer, both published material on it. And then I just insert these into the tilt gap. The top card's a queen, so you get 4 clean queens right off the top. It's a beautiful thing. And that is my finessed handling of Bruce Cervon's floating aces. It's 4:37. So what was that, 4 minutes? Did you learn it that fast, Matthew Mosley? Fortunately, on YouTube, we have rewind buttons. All right, here's where we're at. This deck is either going to go to Gary Henderson or Phoenix McDonald or Jesse Champlin. Those are my 3 dudes. Oh, wait a minute. Well, I got to add Matthew Mosley into this. Now I have to do this because I know it was just Matthew's birthday. I was away for Matthew's birthday, and hey, Matthew, happy birthday. Was it just your birthday, right? November something, right? Matthew Mosley will be diamonds. Gary Henderson will be clubs. Phoenix will be hearts. I need one more. Who did I miss? Oh, Jesse Champlin. JC, spades. Jesse told me to forget you. So look, I'm just gonna, here's the thing. We got 4 horses. It focused. Real magic. Matthew Mosley, diamonds. Gary Henderson, as I say, it focuses, it unfocuses. Clubs. Phoenix will be hearts. And Jesse Champlin, spades. We're going to do some, let me get these fine black here. Whoa, wrong camera. Let's do totally random shuffling. We're going to shoot one out, and someone's going to walk away with a $75 deck of cards. And that's just its value today. You know, it might go up in value over the course of your lifetime. Yeah. Eric's shooting for diamonds. Before I do this cut, there's going to be a 16-minute shuffling ritual. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the AMSMR. All right, let's wrap this up. I'm going to hot shot it. Drum roll here. Ho, ho, ho. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. It's Hearts. Phoenix, the luckiest boy in the land. I'm happy to send a fancy deck to this young man. I'd be happy to send this deck to any one of you, but look, it's a heart. That's Phoenix. And man, you've officially got one too many things from me now. But hey, don't thank me. Let's thank Claude Wyatt for being generous enough to just show up on a fairground. He also said, let me show you what else. I'll wrap up with one more piece of magic for y'all. I got one more little piece of prestidigitation that we can do thanks to Claude. And yeah, congratulations, Phoenix. Let me tell you, I've spent some time with Phoenix in the Zoom. We had a little one-on-one sesh doing some lessons, and he's also showing up for some member Zooms. By the way, members, Thanksgiving week next week, we will have a Zoom. If this is your ballpark, look for that on the radar. It's coming up. And I will have a nicely crafted tutorial for you before then, because I'm not doing one today, because you know what? It's self-love day here. Self-love day. Ira, go. We're wrapping up. This is me wrapping up and saying goodbye. The last trick is very quick. It's this. It's this trick right here. Thank you, Claude, if you're watching. I'm sure he's watching post stream. I've been wanting to do this for a while. This is not a Claude's trick. This is a Hanson chin trick. Man, that's a good one. So it looks like Pocky sticks. If you don't know what Pocky is, now you do. It's a Japanese chocolate candy. And this is me with zero practice with this piece. But thanks to Claude Wyatt, I can now do this. Yes, I can get the chocolate right off of the Pocky stick instantly. So this is a 3D printed Hershey Kiss, and Claude printed me a handful of these. And I'm thinking there's lots of options here, including maybe you could do like a striking vanish and strike it back on there. Or again, you just, like I said, needs work. Day one, we'll get there. It's your closing number. And yeah, now I'm going to eat these. Now I have dessert for a post stream. All right, y'all. There we go. That's your welcome back exhibition. It's been a pleasure seeing everyone. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you enjoyed the card tricks. Hope you learned something. Congratulations, Phoenix. You're a very lucky young man. And that's a wrap. Stay tuned to the community section for our next event, members. And hey, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Let's just say it's going to be 4 o'clock again. I'll have a little more important news to talk about that I didn't talk about today, because today we are keeping it chill. All right, that's a wrap. See you next time, and ciao for now. Au revoir.